Good morning, Chris.
Anthony Franco, how are you on this?
You have a weird look on your face. You have a mischievous look on. You must have a really mischievous dad joke.
No, I don't. I'm actually, what you're mistaken is just sheer frustration. I just don't understand it. So you know how Denver, we have a mint in Denver, right? Like a mint that prints money, right? And they've just announced that they're no longer going to be making pennies at any of the U.S. mints. It just makes no sense.
Oh, there's a pun there. Got it. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Took me a second.
It makes no sense, Anthony. If I just keep saying it, they make no sense.
If you keep saying it, it doesn't work. I've had a rough morning. My wife looked at me and she said, if someone calls me fat, just ignore them because I'm bigger than that. Hurt my feeling.
I think you win the dad joke competition of the morning, Anthony, as you do most mornings, frankly. Anthony, does your professional polish actually signal that you're hiding something? It's a false thing because professional polish is just not really something. Sahil Lavingia saved Gumroad not by fixing the code, but by publishing "Reflecting on My Failure," a raw admission of defeat. That single act of vulnerability rallied a community, allowed him to buy back the company, and turn a dying startup into a profitable empire. Today, Anthony, and How to Founder, we're not talking about vulnerability in leadership, which is the thing I just pulled up, which is the wrong. Things are going great this morning, Anthony. No, it's fine. It's great. I was reading from the wrong show notes, Anthony.
No, that's it.
Vulnerability in leadership? Is this what we're doing?
No, we're talking about this is the right show notes, but the intro. Please, everybody, please forgive us for a second.
And thin and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema.
We were talking about referrals today, Chris.
Things are going great. Hey, let's welcome Brandon. Brandon Barnum is the CEO of HOA.com, the author of Raving Referrals. He spent 2 decades proving the fastest way to close a deal isn't a perfect pitch, but a trusted relationship. Brandon, first of all, what do you think about our level of professionalism on this show? I mean, just probably been on lots of podcasts, pretty much the top, would you say?
You know, it's got me laughing. You guys are hilarious. I mean, what a fun way to start the day. And I got to throw my man. I'm from Oregon, so go.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, my son goes to Oregon, and I was out there last weekend where we beat USC. I have a new group of fans that I dislike the most, which is USC fans. I used to think they're Ohio State. I mean, we don't have any listeners from either Southern California or Ohio, Anthony, so I wouldn't worry about me pissing.
Come on, man. We got Huskies this weekend, so, you know.
It's a big game.
Don't want to go to the doghouse.
Yeah, that is true. It is a big game. Brandon, all right. We started with a terrible show opening. However, we are going to be talking about the secrets today of actually increasing sales. You threw out a couple statistics here, but let's just frame this up. We're talking about referrals. We're talking about how to get them. Why are they important? And why should I, as a founder, start to optimize my system to try to actually get referrals, ask referrals, et cetera?
Yeah, referrals are critical. And for most companies, they're one of the biggest lead sources for your business. And most people just think they come organically, naturally, which is true. But when you actually optimize and systematize your business to generate more referrals, it makes a massive difference. especially if you serve business owners. 84% of all B2B sales start with a referral because it gets you past the gatekeeper. You're talking to the decision maker, and you've already built trust before you even get on the phone or the Zoom.
It's one of those funny things because I think, Anthony, the frame that I have most of my startup journey has been, I just need to do a good job and people will refer me, right? Like I don't have to do anything additional. It's not really a sales channel. I just need to go out and be awesome. And then people will refer me. Has that been your approach, or have you been more systematic about trying to think about referrals?
A little bit of both. So systematic would be overstating it. Casual would be understating it. I do think, you ask two things I always ask people that are calling or that I'm talking to. One, how did you hear about us?
Yeah.
And two, once we've been working with them, would you be willing to, right? Would you be willing to connect us with somebody that you think would provide value? So you have to ask for both. In order, and I mean, that's about as systematic as I got. And I know there's a much bit deeper system that Brandon's going to get into, but that's about as far as I've ever taken it.
You want a life hack right in now, right? I mean,
right off the bat, let's get to the value. I love it.
Bingo.
People always say, if you could do one thing and teach people one thing, what would it be? And I call it the art of the ask. So Anthony, you just said the right thing, which is you got to ask. ASK to GET. I actually teach people to pre-frame it. So rather than waiting till the end of a service or a transaction and asking it then, what if you ask at the beginning and you basically say, hey, listen, before I let you go, once they've decided to hire you, before I let you go, would it be okay if I ask you a favor? Everyone says yes 100% of the time, or they say, maybe, tell me more. And then you say, listen, I'm committed to delivering a 5-star experience. I love helping clients like you. And so once I've delivered a 5-star experience for you, would it be okay if I ask you for referrals? So that's called setting the stage. You do that at the beginning of the relationship and transaction. You'll actually get some referrals right away. But now what you're doing, step 2, is listening for the referral triggers, which is like, Chris, Anthony, man, you guys rock. You're so great. This is so amazing. I'm so glad I'm working with you. Now you've got them in a peak referral state. They've already said yes. They're willing to refer you once you prove yourself to them. And now once they're praising you, it's the perfect time to say, oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Remember, we first started working together. I told you I was going to wow you with our service. Well, now that you've experienced it for yourself, I'd love to see if you have any clients, contacts that I can help the same way I helped you.
Now that I think about it, somebody's used a sales tactic on me. Now that you bring that up, Brandon, they told me they were going to ask me for a referral before the close. Actually, what they said was 90% of my work comes from referrals. So expect me once I do good work for you. Like it's a good way to ask to establish authority without bragging. I'm going to write that down in my playbook. That's good.
And it's great because it pre-frames it, right? So now you've got their agreement right from the get-go, and it's not about you, it's about them. Okay, that's part of the key is don't sell it. You don't want your clients feeling that it's really about you. It's about, I love helping clients like you get this kind of an outcome. So once I've done that for you, I'd love to see if there's some other people I can help.
Also, I love that our listeners, including super listener Eldon, have just come to expect from us the level of professionalism that we deliver week in, week out. Just, it's incredible. Thank you, Eldon. Appreciate the props. Interesting, Brandon, because you touched on 2 really core psychological principles here. And the first one is framing. And we know that if you create a frame of which we can look through, that can really drive people. But the second is a really cool concept called anchoring. And so if you throw an anchor out to somebody early in the sales process, it allows them to start to think about, hey, how can I actually do this? The anchor in this particular case will actually have them start to think through. And if you can remind them of that anchor throughout the process, it'll actually have them continue to look for people that they can refer to, because it's not that they don't want to, it's simply just this idea that it's not top of mind and front of mind. Okay, so we know that it's critically important. We know that it can be a huge driver of sales. We've started with this idea of maybe doing that right off the bat in a sales process, suggesting that you're going to deliver great value, asking if you do, if you've earned their trust, whether you can get to referrals. What additional things do I need to start thinking about when it comes to building this referral landscape, and how systematically should I start to organize that, at least in my own mind as a founder?
Yeah, well, build it into your sales process, right? With the art of the ask isn't only a verbal conversation that we're having, but you can actually integrate that into your invoices, into your email signatures, right? So that you're automating the process, and now you're creating a culture of referrals. One of the things I teach is be easy to refer, right? You want to make it so known that you are on the lookout for helping new clients through referrals, that again, that reticulator activator kicks in. And now people, just like you said, Chris, are on the lookout. They're thinking about it. Whereas if you're not doing this, they're not thinking about it.
Okay. Step one, Chris, is establish a sales process.
What is this thing you call sales process, Brandon? I just thought I'd show up and wow people with my good looks. Also, why I'm not selling very much.
That is your sales process. Yes.
Yeah, that is my sales process. All right. So creating it, like baking it into the sales process, et cetera. I think that one of the questions I have is so we all use CRMs, or at the very least sticky notes or a spreadsheet or something to keep track of our leads or prospects, et cetera. How should I be treating referrals in your sales process? But how do I organize that? Do I just leave a little blank cell next to the current customer's name and try to fill it?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what kind of system that you're using. Ideally, you've got a CRM that's tagging them so that you can search your CRM and actually see how many referrals you've received and given to each of your clients. One of the biggest challenges that we see is most people are like a lone wolf. So they're out there building their business by themselves. I've surveyed thousands of business owners and professionals and found that 79% of people have between 0 and 2 referral partners that send them at least one opportunity every 90 days. 32% have 0. 47% say they have 1 or 2. It's like the 80-20 rule, where most people haven't created partnerships. So I always teach, look at other businesses who are already serving your perfect prospects and be the solution for their clients' challenges, because their clients are going to come to them. They're going to happen to mention, hey, I'm having this issue with, and if you're the solution that they're recommending, you're not only solving the client's challenge, you're also solving your referral partner's challenge.
Anthony, take down note, get sales process, then CRM. I'm not sure what it stands for, but there's some sort of whatever that acronym is.
I have a client that has a meltdown if you mention CRM. They have a complete meltdown. He's like, if you're talking about the CRM, you're talking about the wrong thing.
I get the point, which is it's not about the CRM. It's actually about delivering.
You're spending all this time setting up the process. Why don't you just go out and make some phone calls?
I think it's a fair point. I want to get to, so as we go through, so you started by suggesting that early in the sales process, Brandon, we can start and anchor that person around maybe offering a referral, et cetera. However, I think it's probably necessary but not sufficient. Like there's going to be other steps along the way here. So take us through your thinking. When and how do I continue to nudge my current customers around referrals? How do I do that? How do I, for lack of a better word, hold them accountable to their promise to offer referrals?
Yeah, well, you need to automate the ask. So I just mentioned some suggestions of how you can build that into your automated system. The other side, though, is create a gift certificate or a gift card or referral system, right? Something that you can give people so that now that they've got a way to refer your business, whether it's a gift certificate where their clients and customers can, get the gift of you, and it gives them something physical. So if you're actually delivering an in-person service, this is something that you can give them as a reminder. And if you can tie in a benefit to them, even better. So some people like to have a referral rewards, or what's known in internet marketing as an affiliate program. Why not turn your customers into champions for your company?
So Anthony, have you ever done any sort of frequent buyer rewards, anything like that? I mean, I'm trying to think of businesses where that would fit. I mean,
in the B2C if you're so here's my philosophy on this. If you're more consumer focused, I think that might work. If it's B2B, you're going to struggle to figure out the right referral program. When I mean, Chris, how many times have you referred a friend in order to get $50 from something?
That's my question to you, Brandon. Is it so? This has been years ago. There was a really expensive. I was in like right out of college. I was selling cell phones for a living, and they launched this incredibly expensive program of refer a friend piece. And this is in the early days where people were actually buying cell phones, and it turned out it was a complete waste of time, because I think that they did it wrong. But I just want to get your sort of, what's the psychological approach here to make it work, like to actually have it so you're offering value on both sides of that transaction.
Yeah, so two different strategies. Let's take your customers and then let's take referral partners. When it comes to your clients and your customers, they're not going to refer you typically because it's some great benefit for them. They're going to refer you because you're helping the people that they care about, right? You're providing a solution that's going to make the people that they care about, their lives better. That's why they do it. So it's not about you, it's about the people that they care about. Now, when it comes to other business professionals, you can create a referral partnership, and your partner's motivations are going to be different. Some are going to do it because they can make money, right? Business people tend to like to make money. And if they can monetize their existing client base by offering your product and service as an extension, as long as it's complementary to them, then they're in. I always recommend, we teach something called the referral partner blueprint, where basically there's 21 different co-marketing campaigns, ways that each business can promote each other. And so be on the lookout as you're creating a partnership for, how can I add value to this company? How can I recommend their services, and be on the lookouts and find clients and customers for them? When you give first and you're helping add value to those other businesses, then they'll reciprocate and be on the lookout for you.
So I think we're talking about two things, and I think bringing into it, it's an interesting time to discuss it, which is, there's another idea here about referrals, which is, it's like leads groups or networking groups, et cetera, where you get a group of people together and everybody's out trying to communicate and network, et cetera. And when somebody comes in and needs the service that is not necessarily your service, you can give them, hand them over their business card, try to walk them in, and maybe they'll give you some sort of monetary kickback or something like that. That's, I think it's different in the sense that your customer base would be their primary base for referrals, but then there's these recommenders as well. So even though they're kind of indirect referrals, is that an accurate way to frame it, Brandon?
Yeah, you can look at that. I mean, there's two completely distinct sources of business there. There's the clients and customers that have had an experience. They've got a personal testimony of the difference that you make. And when you're solving their problem, they're going to be looking and hearing stories of other people that are seeing that same challenge in their life, and they can recommend you as the solution. Then you've got the B2B professionals, right? The BNI, the chambers of commerce. You've got people that are going out to these events specifically to find referral partners, people that can send them business. But what I see happen all the time is they go and they meet great people, but they don't know how to actually create a partnership. So they'll go to a chamber of commerce event or even a BNI event every single week, and they might give a referral in the meeting, but in between the meeting, there's really nothing happening. And so what we teach is to create a plan of action so that now you've got an agreement with the other partner of how you're going to cross promote each other.
Dive a little bit deep on that, Brandon. What does that plan of action contain? What's in that?
Yeah. So again, in the referral partner blueprint, there's 21 different co-marketing campaigns. Podcast is one of them. If you run a podcast, bring your partner on your show, edify them, share what they're up to. You can do the same thing on social media, either go live or you can promote their offer, their event. Events are a great way to build your business with other people. You know, I was in the mortgage business for 12 years. So I worked with realtors, financial planners, insurance agents, attorneys, accountants, and then all the home service pros. And what I knew is they always had clients that were talking to them about their home. And often that would lead into a financial conversation. So we did workshops. We did workshops for real estate investors, first-time homeowners, veterans buying a house. And so when I would partner with a financial advisor and we would talk about financial strategies, it was win-win. I would promote them to my client community and database, and they would promote me. And through that, 1 + 1 becomes 11.
Anthony, I'm just taking a note around actually creating partnerships and doing something with this podcast because, yeah, it's interesting. Actually, okay, it's good. Good idea. All right, so kind of the last line of questioning before we get into the speed round, which is, let's give me as a founder. I think we've already talked about it, but let's just walk through it systematically. First and foremost, I need a plan initially to make sure that I go out and mine my current prospects and customers to get referrals and use that as a lead source. Secondarily, now I need to start trying to create a community of like-minded people that I trust that are going to then cross-refer, et cetera. I think those are two good ideas. What other ideas or recommendations would you give a founder that's just getting going and trying to figure it out?
Yeah. So the other thing I would say is look at a referral rewards program or an affiliate program. How can you integrate a way to compensate and monetize people that are already serving your perfect prospects every day? And their monetization, like their incentivization, may be that they're just looking for more exposure, more business for themselves. And if so, understand that and deliver on that. And then you're going to find other people that are just happy to get paid by making recommendations, and they'll actually promote you intentionally, proactively for compensation. So I think both are effective. I met yesterday with a director of global director of sales for an energy additive, and it's basically a molecular compound that improves fuel efficiency and reduces pollution in diesel by 60%, right? So first meeting and coming out of it, this guy says, hey, by the way, we have a referral program and I'd be willing to pay 4% of any business that comes through this channel. And we had just launched this, our most recent book 2 weeks ago. And one of the people that we featured is the CEO of an oil company. And so I said, would this be of interest? He's like, oh my gosh, that would be a gold mine. Now, why am I incentivized to make that recommendation? Number one, if we can clean up the fuel, that's going to improve the economy. But number two, if he's going to pay me 4% of everything that they spend, that's going to improve my economy. So as a result, here's one conversation that's going to lead into an incredible opportunity for him that should, assuming it works out and they move forward, will pay me for years to come.
Anthony, there's one other line here, which is we haven't really talked about, but when you ran a huge agency, and part of this is this idea of customer satisfaction. And I just want to ask you, like, how did you think about that and how did you measure that? Because I think, Brandon, to your point, asking happy customers for referrals is critically important, but you have to make sure that they're happy before you ask them. So how did you gauge the happiness, and did you have a system where if they clicked over a particular satisfaction level, that's when you would ask them?
Well, I mean, referrals at Effective were really interesting because we were dealing with Fortune 100 customers, and there were occasions where somebody at American Express knew somebody at FedEx, right? Or in a different organization. So referrals for us weren't necessarily about external referrals, but internal referrals. So we would ask for referrals into different departments and referrals for different projects. Occasionally we'd get referrals outside of that organization, but you know, we went deep into organizations to develop multiple relationships within those, and that worked out really well because, you know, you have this issue of customer concentration that you have to be careful of, but it worked out better because you started developing relationships within different departments within an organization, asking for internal referrals. External referrals just wasn't really a thing for us.
Well, and Chris, to answer your question, you look at Net Promoter Score, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend our service? If they say 8, 9, or 10, then you've got somebody that's likely to refer you. Once you've asked that question, now you're at a place where if they give you the response that you're looking for, now you can ask them for referrals.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Brandon, are you ready? Are you emotionally ready?
Hey, Chris.
Hold on.
I got it, Anthony.
You've got it? You noticed it? Okay, good.
All right. Brandon, are you ready for the speed round?
Bro.
All right. For founders, should I start with referrals or start with outbound?
Well, outbound you can control, so start with outbound first.
Refer business to competitor if it's a better fit? Question mark.
Absolutely.
Would you ever fire a referral partner?
Absolutely, especially if they're representing your brand.
Fair enough.
Or they're high maintenance.
Ask for referrals from current customers, even if you haven't lived up to your expected level of service.
Yeah, because it gives you an opportunity to get into a conversation about how you can make it a 10 out of 10.
I love it. Brandon, thanks for bearing with us with our incredible, wild technical difficulties. A couple of deep dive recommendations for you. The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle. Daring Greatly is not that great. We'll say Challenger Sales, another good one. But we're not going to read those books, Brandon. We're going to go right to your website, and we're going to go to brandonbarnum.com, and we're going to buy Raving Referrals from you. It's international bestseller. Are we calling it international bestseller?
Absolutely.
It's international bestseller.
It will be after this show, Chris.
That's exactly right. International bestseller, Raving Referrals. Where else can we find out more information about you? How can we stay in touch?
Yeah, you've got it on screen, brandonbarnum.com. Check it out. There's an opportunity. You can connect with me directly. I'd love to have a conversation, see how I can serve you better.
I like that. And I'd like to refer Anthony as a podcast producer. Maybe refer him out.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a technical glitch. Thank you for everybody listening. Apologies for the technical glitch, but we do appreciate you tuning in and listening. This was actually a really good topic. There's a lot of things that we can be doing. I'm going to start with asking for you, our listeners, to refer your friends to the How to Founder podcast. See, I took notes. And they can do that by visiting us at howtofounder.com, where they can connect with us on LinkedIn. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify channels. And for your friends, that you tell them that this is the only show where we believe the founders are the pioneers of economic prosperity. And we're truly just grateful to be there along the way. Brandon, thank you so much. Take care, guys. Bye.